ruining the intro, man.
My fault, OG. Oh, okay. I was trying to see if I could switch people around. You guys cool with this order? You guys want to?
Zon got relegated to bottom right. That's crazy.
Hey, Shanor, will you let me in off my laptop in a second? Because I was on my phone, but I'm switching to my laptop. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. I can't wait for y'all to hear my segment at the end.
Yeah, I'm curious.
All right, Shanor, I'm about to hop in. Sorry. Enter studio. Bye on this one.
Oh wait, how do I remove from stage and then add to stage?
Sorry,
There it is.
Dang, Azan got moved to top right.
I'm bottom right. This is awful.
Back in business.
Yeah, get me out of here. I don't know anything. All I know is that Franz Wagner's been playing better ever since Paolo. Ever since those first three.
Hey.
The only thing I've been keeping track of.
Sorry, Alok is a host by, so I just gotta give him like a center spot. You want top? You want up top, bud? I got you.
There you go. That's beautiful.
You have so much power. But welcome everyone. It's been a while since we've had our full cast on for a pod, so it's good to have everyone back. I know one of us has been overseas for a bit, Saad, so I'll open up the pod to let you tell us about your trip overseas.
Fish and chips in it. I drove. I hit the curb 3 times, but after the 3rd time, I started seeing through the matrix. I was eating pastries every day, 9 to 5, like it's my job. Got a little sick. Luckily in London, I have access to the best antihistamine on the market, promethazine. Feeling a lot better.
Good, great to hear. And for the audience's reference, he means he went to London, England. Different healthcare system, different culture, driving on a different side of the road. And it seems like Saad had a good time.
I got in a fight with a pharmacist who tried to tell me that the medication I was buying was only for chesty coughs, and my cough was more of a dry one.
That's all it takes.
It's a bit chesty, ain't it?
I've never.
Such a crazy criteria.
The pharmacies are crazy. They're crazy. The people there are just spouting off nonsense. I don't know. I told them I got a little snarky. I'm not gonna lie. He got snarky back. I lost my cool. I was mad, and I wanted to feel better.
Well, hopefully you are feeling better. Since our last pod, yeah, a lot of things have happened around the league, and to catch up, we have a number of preseason contenders who have been struggling as of late, finding their way, whether it be because of new pieces added to the roster, attrition due to injury, or just bad vibes overall from coaching to the roster. So I have a few teams I wanted to talk about that over the past week have made headlines for all the wrong reasons. And I don't think there's a better place to start besides the Philadelphia 76ers. Just as a preface, they're, I believe, 3-13 at this point in time. We've talked about them a little bit, how Jared McCain seems to be a decent bright spot as far as their first round draft pick, but it seems like everything around him is pretty much crumbling, whether it's from Embiid being consistently injured and feuding with their fan base, Paul George podcasting about what's going wrong with their team. But I digress, and I'll open the floor to y'all to see what you guys have thought about
their graphics department, man.
Oh, what about the graphics department?
I don't know, man. They look like they're on tops too.
Yeah, I think they need to review their font choices a little bit,
or maybe not
before they make posts.
Maybe they're trying to say something about their team, like they're really not doing well.
Yeah.
They asked.
Well, it did send quite the message, but I guess what does anyone have anything particular to, there's the obvious kind of headline grabbing reasons as to why their start has been so bad, whether it's due to injury or they're just the overall drama that oftentimes surrounds the Sixers. But from a basketball standpoint, what have you guys noticed, if anything, from their start to the season that's kind of contributed to how badly they started?
I mean, I don't really watch them, but I think it's time to blow it up. Like they suck. Like Embiid can't. I mean, again, I haven't really watched many games from what I've been hearing. They got nobody to really play besides McCain, and then sometimes, what's his name? Oubre? No, Oubre. Like all their other players are very inconsistent, and then we're still relying on a old ass Kyle Lowry, and then Embiid just like you can't, you have to. We don't even play, but we all know like to get prepared, you must play in the games. That's how you get in the shape. That's how you get in the rhythm. And like this bum loser mentality, like blow it up.
Whoa.
Wow.
Like McCain
Coming
and
in
Maxey,
hot.
that's it. Let's just start with there. Trade Paul George. I mean, trade him for D'Angelo. Trade Embiid for D'Angelo. Let's see it happen. But yeah, blow it up. Team just sucks. They got no identity. Like, yeah, they got no identity.
That's all it is. Look, I've watched a little bit of Philly. It's like actually really fun to watch them because they're very lazy, it seems. But there are different people in the lineup every single game. But there's no consistency whatsoever, and that's all it is. That's why, like, I know they're bad and I know they're doing all this, but the truth is, it's early on. Like, I feel like all this is meaningless. They could get it together, but without consistency in the lineup, they're going to be nothing. So I'm erring towards the side of they're kind of toast because they're not going to get consistency from this lineup, and but it's just sad. It's just really just a sad. They're just kind of petering out. There's nothing big to be done. We're all just going to watch them suffer all season. I bet the last 30 games or so they'll get their stuff together. They'll be like right around 500. They'll make the play-in. And honestly, if they do that, they'll be totally fine.
I'd push back a little bit on that because I wasn't very impressed with their offseason a little bit. With their Philly fans are a little crazy about the Caleb Martin signing. When you sign one value level wings that don't have any shooting versatility and that are overrated defensively, and you're playing them heavy starter minutes, there's some concerns there rotation-wise. Like Caleb Martin's one example.
I think Caleb Martin proved himself in the past. That's all I want to say. Sorry.
Yeah, one series doesn't do much for me, honestly.
Tell the Lakers that.
Yeah, one series doesn't do much for me. We saw what happened in the finals in 2023. So, and then you have Kelly Oubre, who's also just low shooting versatility, not the highest IQ. And then Eric Gordon is in the rotation. Andre Drummond is in the rotation.
Wow, who put this roster together?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, I think the offseason got a little overrated, and obviously injuries are a huge part of it, and you need Embiid to play. But it seems like at this point you can't really count on it because his knee hasn't even responded well to him playing. I think in 5 or 6 games.
Is it the knee or is it clinical depression?
Hey.
Multifactorial.
He seems pretty. I'm just asking.
Pat McAfee. Whoa.
I'm just asking questions.
It's a fair point. The vibes are bad all around, but I do think Izan makes a good point as far as roster construction goes. There's this meme I came across on Twitter earlier in the season. It's Patrick Starr in the pose, like the Dwayne Wade, LeBron, like alley-oop, like but the caption reads, it's Daryl Morey, and it's another mid-level exception to another 2018 Rocket, and that seems to be the what's old is new in Daryl Morey's eyes. Whether it's Daniel House on previous iterations of the Sixers, Eric Gordon being one of the prime off-season additions. And getting heavy rotation minutes when I'd say they have probably better younger options to choose from. And one thing I do want to highlight, though, as far as why their start might not be so good despite their injuries. I mean, you kind of have a baked-in expectation of Embiid missing games. I think they came into the season thinking that, but obviously it's the amount he's missed and just the drama around him has exceeded that expectation even. But I think Tyrese Maxey has not really taken any steps forward in his increased role. He's shooting pretty inefficiently from the field. I think it's like low 40%. His three-point shot is like 30 or less than 30% from three. He's shooting at a higher volume than ever, but I think he's taking on this increased responsibility by, taking a higher degree of difficulty shots, not really taking that playmaking leap that would probably be, best suit the Sixers, and especially with their lack of kind of, playmaking or ball handling chops around him. Aside from McCain, they really need someone to set them up to get to their spots. And he's not really taken that playmaking leap to begin the season. I watched a couple of their games this past week, and it's just kind of him. It looks a little bit like Josh Giddey sometimes trying to get past people. Obviously, it's not that bad, but I expected more from Maxey.
As someone who's owned him in fantasy right now, let's give him a little break. He was out for some time.
He's definitely missing time.
Yeah,
but I mean, in the games he's played, whether it's at the very beginning of the season or since he's come back from injury, it's been a struggle.
Hey man, he hadn't played in a while. New team, new season. He had to step up last year, but he's getting the group. Then he got injured, and then now we gotta see how McCain. So let's give him some more. He definitely needs to He definitely needs to be better like he was last year when he took that role. But he ain't no Giddy. Let's
that was mainly a joke, but it's been disappointing, and they're kind of out of time at this point. They haven't explored it,
which is why you blow it up. Which is why you blow it. They're out of time. They're not. I don't know if they're gonna make a plan.
Yeah, bro. Jared McCain, your best player. No offense to him, he's great. Maybe Kyle Lowry. Maybe Kyle Lowry should be carrying his bags. I don't know.
Kyle Lowry's already carrying a lot back there, if you know what I mean.
Don't want to talk about the Sixers too long, but this will probably bleed into a different segment we have later in the episode. But what do you guys think about Nick Nurse? Bill Simmons talked about Nick Nurse in his most recent podcast about how good of a coach he's been or is, and kind of what he's, how much of his reputation is riding off of that 2019 championship with Kawhi Leonard kind of having that run for the ages. What do you guys think of how he's handled all the attrition and just generally as a coach?
I think that was a little overblown. I think that segment personally that Bill Simmons did about Nick Nurse specifically, I think that was a little overblown. When I was listening to it, he was like 50-win season, 40-win season, 20-win season. Then there's a random 50-win season that he just kind of brushed over. I think he's a good coach. There's very few elite coaches in the NBA. He might not be that caliber, everyone thought, but he's constantly proven himself. He was the Rockets G League coach way back in the day, and that's kind of how he got his start. I think won the championship, kind of worked his way up. I think he's a very, very good coach. I think this has mainly the Philadelphia reeks of poor roster construction and really bad vibes. You put any person in this situation, they're not. I mean, if you put Eric Spoelstra, maybe he'll get a little bit more out of the team, but this team is just. I think they're cooked. I'm with Io. They're cooked, man. I see Embiid flopping at the free throw line, man. I've never seen something like that. What is going on? To be fair, I didn't watch the context behind that, but I scrolled through the videos, and that's your leader.
I think to be fair, I think he just thought he missed that free throw, and he just kind of flailed his body a little bit.
It's all very negative theatrics. I mean, if that's your leader is talking third person. He's trying to find the snitch. I called Ushman the other day, and he was like, dude, I started dying when I saw that Embiid was looking for the snitch.
Yeah.
You got people like Ushman laughing at you, man. And then
They had odds, and I know that I saw a tweet. I don't know if it was real or not, but they said they had odds for who the snitch actually was, and it was like -125 Joel Embiid.
it's crazy. It's
It's
on, and
not.
then you converse that with like other people in the NBA, like the Lakers. Let's say, I mean, they don't have like the strongest roster either, but like LeBron has like this level of like this baseline level of work that he's gonna put in every single day, and people see it, and they become competent. Like at least they're not gonna be the situation that Philly's in, because they very easily could have been like that too. I mean, their roster, we can talk about that later, but their roster is also not the greatest. And then you got people like Steph, you know, in like year whatever, like just carrying this team. Like, and there's just a level that these players come at every single day that Embiid needs to be at. Like, you're not gonna solve any issues with just changing a coach. So I think Nick Nurse is a good coach. I think a little bit is overblown. And unfortunately, I think Philly's just a good product.
Yeah, it's not looking good, and I think they're probably the biggest disaster to start the season as far as what their preseason expectations were. But we do have some teams that have still kind of come off started out, kind of off and on, had good games where they, look like they're finding their stride, and then they just, come back with a perplexing loss. I'll start based on vibes because, and maybe a little bit of recency bias, but another team with seemingly bad vibes is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Over the past couple of games, especially, they, I think 2 games ago, lost to the Toronto Raptors, the most ethical tankers in the league. And there was a play at the end of the game where Rudy Gobert had the seal on a smaller player, and in a crunch time possession, and Julius Randle just stared at him, did not pass the ball, and in frustration, Rudy Gobert almost purposely got an offensive 3-second call and
Almost.
caught. It's I try to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't think he deserves it, but and it led to them losing against one of the worst teams in the league. So I'll open the floor about the Timberwolves and what you guys have seen to start the season.
Toronto's not that bad. Okay, let's chill out there. They're not that bad.
This isn't a
Hey, that's your
Toronto
NBA. That's your
segment.
NBA Cup pick, right?
Yeah, they're not that
That was-
bad.
One of
that
his
was
10. One of
I
his
thought it was
10
the Hawks.
Hey, Hawks are not. They're up against Dallas too, but
Oh, this is an NBA Cup game, though.
but I guess going back to Timberwolves again, haven't really watched a lot of them either. But I guess from what I've kind of seen and heard, it seems that like Ant is still that leader, and they have kind of like a number 2-ish kind of, but the defense is just not the same, and they got no one on the bench. Besides that, I don't really know much, but like that's kind of what I've really seen and heard.
I watched them yesterday against the Celtics, and I thought Julius Randle looked okay. Like his rim pressure is much needed for them. His drives have been a bit more controlled, especially the game I watched yesterday. Ant's taken like a pull-up 3 leap. Like his 3-point numbers are pretty good, and that's exactly what he needed to do as a scorer. But besides that, I think Mike Conley has been kind of a disaster this year. Jaden McDaniels, who
career loser, Mike Conley.
yeah, Jaden McDaniels, who I've been a bit lower on than consensus because of his offensive output and offensive ceiling, hasn't really provided much from that standpoint, and hasn't really his defense hasn't really made up for that. Like yesterday's game against the Celtics, Derek White was completely ignoring Jaden McDaniels. A lot of Celtics defenders just were choosing to keep him open, and that's terrible for your spacing, especially already considering that you have a Randall Gobert front court. But in terms of vibes, yeah, the Raptors game wasn't a good selling point. You can just tell that no one really messes with Gobert. Like the whole league doesn't mess with Gobert, especially after his endorsement of someone we shall not name on this podcast. But yeah, things aren't looking good for him or for the team. But I believe in Chris Finch. I believe in his ability to kind of rein things in together. And there's some optimism because I just don't think Randall's been a complete disaster yet. So, but we'll see.
But I mean, we know Julius Randle. We know who he is. Just because he hasn't been a complete disaster yet doesn't mean it's not coming. I mean, I'd be surprised if it didn't happen. It just feels like part of the vibes thing is also, Julius Randle being on the team. It feels like there's always just something with him. Uh, he's a bit of a hothead. Gets tunnel vision a lot on the court. It's probably not the most fun player to play with exactly, or helpful player to play with. So I don't know. I never thought I'd say this, but they should have kept Cat. Should have never traded him.
Absolutely. He was the better. Yeah, that roster was better with Cat for sure.
I think it was a lose-lose trade, to be honest. I think both teams are struggling with their new players. It might just be early season, but I completely agree with Shanor. Like, it's not this bad yet, but like it's kind of going back to when, the end of that Minnesota year where Gobert punched Kyle Anderson. I mean, like the vibes are like people are starting to scream at Gobert again, and like Ant's telling him to shut up, and like all these things that are happening. And while your team's supposed to collectively make a leap or be right back where they're supposed to be, not good.
I can just envision how. Go ahead, Io.
I'll say that's a really good point because I think, like, it's not like because both teams, both players are good, and like, but the previous and the players that they had on the team before, like, it had a good fit, but it's just like what they were trying to hope for and aim for should not have been the goal. Like, these teams should have tried to add pieces to that they knew were going to either be great fits to the team or really try to highlight what they needed to improve to like get closer to championship. But like both teams they went for players that they thought could get them to where they wanted. But like, if you really look, like, Julius Randle was not really a great piece, and getting rid of Cat was like who would be your defensive anchor? Like,
Also,
you really thought it was gonna be? Oh yeah.
Sorry, I was just saying. Also, I think we kind of skipped over Dante DiVincenzo, who like just after being like a really bright spot for the Knicks last season, just like hasn't been that at all for the Wolves.
The product looks more clunky. Like, if you ever watch them play, like last year was very smooth. Ball was moving around. I don't know if because Cat was spacing the floor nice, and like you put in Randall and he's kind of a ball stopper, and you put in Ant. And of course, you want Ant to have the ball, but like the way he plays, he dribbles the ball a lot and tries to get up to his pull-ups or whatnot. I don't know. To me, and kind of what I've been watching them, the product doesn't look as nice, and I think that's kind of reflective on what's going on in their general record too.
Yeah, I think a couple comments on what everyone says. I think everyone's making good points. I think just most recently what Irfan said about Cat spacing maybe helping the offense flow a little bit more smoothly. I definitely think is the case, and you can see it with at least, and we'll get to the Knicks a little bit later, but Cat's kind of done wonders for the Knicks spacing. Him and Jalen Brunson have a really good chemistry in the pick and roll. Their offense isn't the problem, but back to the Wolves, I think that certainly has something to do with their clunky start to the season. Ant's not the best playmaker in the league. He's not. I wouldn't even say he's like a top 25 percentile playmaker in the league. Still has a ways to go in that regard. He can also get tunnel vision in addition to Julius Randle. And then, like what Shanor touched on, DiVincenzo not being who they thought he would be. I think he got a boost from high exposure in the playoffs where he played his best ball last year. But for the most part, he's playing closer to what he's been at the other points of his career. Or at other stops, at least, whether it's the Bucks, the Warriors, maybe the Knicks years were a bit of an outlier. But it's just been disappointing. I think but in the West, I think say they were an Eastern Conference team, maybe there wouldn't be as much worry. But in a crowded West, where there are a bunch of teams overachieving at their expectations, and then just kind of stalwarts that are finding their groove, whether it's the Denver Nuggets or what have you. They can't really afford to have these tough stretches to the season. It might come to hurt them later in the season when it comes to playoff seeding. But this is certainly not the worst situation in the league, and I think our discussion probably kind of leads us to segue to the Knicks. Their trade partner before the season, their biggest acquisition of the offseason was probably Cat, but they also acquired Mikal Bridges in a feigned trade for five or six first-round picks. Price, I don't think anyone else thought would be the case. I don't even think the Nets had been historically asking for that much, but they still sent first-round picks over. But the Knicks have kind of lost their identity, at least from last year, of anchoring on defense and then kind of letting Jalen Brunson kind of play out his mind and elevate the people around him. So what have you guys seen from the Knicks that you think has led to the lackluster start to the season? Was that Mikal Bridges' form?
Yeah, that was Mikal Bridges.
I think the Knicks are going to be fine. I also feel the same way about Minnesota. I think both of these teams made really big changes, and I think it takes a second. To speak quickly on Minnesota, it's like at the end of the games, they will look better because they know exactly what they're doing. But like the word you guys are using, clunky, is exactly right. It's like really annoying to play a whole game without like a solid facilitator, even though like Ant does a fairly decent job, and it's hard with the roster they have. The Knicks are the same. They changed their roster, and now they have like an immense offensive producer at center. That's strange to do. Like you have to stop what you're doing and like locate. It's just a big change from how they've been playing. Where as the last few years, their center was not a significant part of their like offensive plan unless he was finishing. That's just weird. That's like a weird thing to change to, I think.
I agree with Saad. I think the Knicks are going to be fine as like a regular season team. I don't really project them to be much of a threat as a playoff contender, but I mean, just looking at the Knicks numbers, they are second in offense for offensive rating, eighth. Sorry, where are they defensively? But they don't have that bad of a net rating right now. They're eighth in net rating at 5. So, and I think Cat has been really good for them offensively. Like he's taken somewhat
incredible start to the season.
Yeah, first option role from Jalen Brunson. Like he's taken that creation burden off of him, which I think the Knicks needed like desperately. Like Jalen Brunson was going to get worn down creation wise at some point. So that's a good spot. But I will say, as long as Josh Hart's on that team, I'm not going to be scared. I'm not going to be scared. No way. No way I'm going to be scared with him in the lineup, jacking up threes. But also, I think to touch on Minnesota one last moment, I think Alok and Saad would probably agree with me. I think they need to play Rob Dillingham a little bit more.
Give me Dilly.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Give me Dilly.
So
I
like,
didn't
watched
want to
him.
be a homer for Dillingham, but
What?
come on, Finch, what are you doing? Conley
Yeah,
over Dillingham? Are you kidding me?
He had a good game yesterday in the minutes he played. I think he could provide a lot of juice for them in the half court when things do get bogged down. So, I think the Mike Conley thing is over, and they should probably pivot at some point. And I think Finch is smart enough to realize that. And I don't think there will be any politics that play into that decision. So.
Definitely. Big Dillingham guy. I think his offensive creation will definitely translate to the league. Obviously, he'll need to be hidden defensively, but they have at least the individual point of attack defenders that can kind of hide him at least a bit if they're playing certain teams. And he could definitely be helpful for their clunky offense as both a scorer and a playmaker. But just to talk about the Knicks, I think Cat, I agree that he's had a great start to the season offensively. He's kind of opened them up to where you wouldn't have expected the Knicks to be in top 2 offensive rating to begin the season, but he and Jalen Brunson just kind of have a good chemistry in the pick and roll, as I alluded to earlier. And taking off this offensive burden off of Jalen Brunson, because it's kind of unrealistic to expect him to reproduce the numbers that he had last season, especially, but even the year before. He's a small guard who's picked up injuries here and there in his time with the Knicks. So it's been a welcome sight to see Cat alleviate some of that burden. I want to shout out Shanor for his call at the beginning of the season. discounting Tom Thibodeau's ability to manage this roster. I do think it's going to be a problem that's going to come to bear later, that they're not using, and it's not just based off of what they paid to get him, but Mikal Bridges, if you're going to just relegate him to the corner, he and OG just like flanking each corner, and that's what his role in the offense is going to be, and nothing, not as a screener, not as a secondary playmaker, or not, no ball handling reps, then you're just like, I think you're pretty much misutilizing him and just, hamstringing your offense to be very, Cat and Jalen Brunson 2-man game dependent. And I don't think Thibodeau has really found a way to integrate Bridges into the offense enough. And we all talk about his struggles with his shot, but I don't know, a 6'8" wing who can ball handle a little bit that he showed in Brooklyn, scoring over 20 points a game, could be helpful aside from just standing in the corner and throwing up a broke shot. I think I agree with Saad's assessment that, and he's on as well, that they'll be fine, at least in the regular season. We'll see in the playoffs. They're definitely better teams in both conferences than the Wolves and the Knicks. So we'll see how far they can get, but they'll right the ship.
I think they will be better for it overall. I think truly it comes down to the last 3-4 minutes of a game to see which teams are actually getting better, and they're going to be better. If you're in the last 3-4 minutes of a playoff game and you have Jalen Brunson, Cat playing a 2-man game with Bridges, Anunoby, and Josh Hart spotting up around the corners, that's not so bad. That's I would say probably better off than they were last year, and I don't know, not too down on them.
Izan, are you of the belief that Josh Hart is a 0-level scorer?
The first two-way player not to be a two-way player. The first 3-and-D player not to be a 3-and-D player. That's what I saw a tweet about that, and it perfectly encapsulates him.
Dude, he I don't know. He plays hard. He has
yeah. His offensive rebounding is good. I will.
It's that New York Knickerbocker Hart I was talking about in our first episode.
Come on, man.
Oh, brother.
The blood of a city run through his veins, man. You can't stop.
On that note, let's
we're gonna
move on to.
You mess with one of us. You mess with all of us.
Not showing the most heart. Not showing that much heart at the beginning of the season. I mean, they lost the Jazz over the weekend. So.
Fair enough.
But they'll be fine. But the team that might not be fine, at least in my assessment, and also their expectations were sky high coming off a finals appearance, is the Dallas Mavericks. I know Shnor is looking at his child because he loves to clown on the Mavericks. So I'll let him start. What have you thought about the Mavericks start to the season?
More like asterisks.
Oof.
Oh my.
Is Luka still out? Is Luka still out?
Luka's still out.
Yeah, Luka's
You bum, get better. First of all. And then when you get better, actually, play with your team instead of chucking 30 shots a game. You inefficient.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's stop.
Sorry, I'll reel it in a little bit. I'm gonna save my anger for a later segment, actually.
Oh.
Hey, Dinwiddie got 20 right now. I'm just saying.
Oh God, who do they play?
This is what we're talking about. Spencer Dinwiddie
Hawks,
right
it's
now.
over.
We're talking about Spencer Dinwiddie right now. What's the score to that game right now?
106-104. Dallas up 8 minutes.
Oh, they came back?
Yeah.
Literally, Kyrie's been the only bright spot of that team, and occasionally PJ Washington, unfortunately.
Only when he plays the Thunder.
Only when, God damn it. Clank started off the season decently, and then now, he's living up to that nickname we all love.
The most predictable kind of course for Klay Thompson was he starts out with a couple of semi-vintage Klay games, and then he just regresses to his mean, at least his mean over the past 2 or 3 seasons. It's he's a player that plays in a flow offense his whole career, predicated on a lot of motion, and now he's just relegated to spotting up in certain spots, waiting for Luka Doncic to pass him the ball. What do you expect?
I was watching Luca rookie highlights as a completely different player.
Yeah,
Just,
he was skinny. He was like throwing down some mean dunks.
can he dunk now? I'm just asking
Come on, man.
questions.
Come
I'm
on.
just asking questions.
He's
Come
on
on,
the he's on the Jokic offseason regimen.
Yeah.
You know.
At least Jokic
Yeah.
show me something.
He'll play himself into shape. It'll be all right.
I also think they were way too hyped over the season. I don't know where I had them on my rankings, but I don't think they were top 4 from what I remember. It's just I don't know. I'm kind of tired of watching this team. Not gonna lie.
Never like watching them. Never like
Like
watching.
even when even I was supporting the Rockets and like Harden was on the team, kind of the same thing, you know.
Yeah.
It's not really the most pleasurable basketball to watch. Kyrie is still really fun to watch, I'll say.
Yeah.
He'll pull out the occasional magic he does, but everyone else, man, it reminds me of those Rockets teams, man. Like, yeah, they were like really really good, but there's a ceiling to it, and there's a ceiling to the fandom as well. Like, I don't understand how you can, like, some of these Luka fans are like, oh yeah, he's the best player in the league when your favorite player is out of shape. He's getting injured now, and he's not doing things that are conducive
It's
to
the
winning.
same name from
That
last
was a
season.
Mickey Mouse run, man. That was the fakest run I've ever seen, besides that Miami Heat run. But I don't know. I don't know how they made the finals, man. That's honestly crazy to me. How the heck did they make the finals? I don't
Because
know.
they played the Wolves.
He turned into the corner 3-point shooter in the league.
PJ Washington turned into Ray Allen.
I think Alok hit it spot on though. Like what I saw in the finals from them was a lot of low-level versatile shooters that were just spotting up, standstill, and no movement whatsoever. So your hope with Clay was you're arguably acquiring and signing one of the best movement shooters of all time, but they don't use him in that way at all. So they still have that flaw in their offense where they really do not get too much off-ball movement at all to force guys to chase over screens, to force defenders to chase all over the court like they had to in Golden State. So their offense is a little bit predictable in that sense. Mavericks fans really thought that Lively was going to take some kind of Kevin Garnett leap offensively, and I've not seen anything at all. He's even defensively, and Luka still is god awful defending, like absolutely awful. We saw a week and a half ago what he did against Utah. If there's no commitment on that end, and your superstar's not doing that, there needs to be conversation about that, whether it's about his conditioning. You can't really always teach defense, but you can teach defensive principles. He's just not even following the main tenets of defense. And he's falling asleep off ball. On ball, he's getting blown by time after time again. So I'm not sure what they do. I don't see them as a contender, but I don't also see them as some kind of like lottery team at all. But I think you need to temper your expectations with this roster.
I think probably the lasting image, at least of late, was Luka losing John Collins off ball, and Jordan Clarkson finding it. You know, I think it was the last 30 seconds or something. Was it the final possession or something like that? Where John Collins just slipped right by him. He had no idea in a crunch time possession, and the Jazz. Jazz beating the Knicks and the Mavericks, who knows? Will Hardy turning around, but just some poor defensive showings from Luka Doncic. I will defend Derek Lively. First of all, he's a second-year player. I think a lot of his ire has been because of the hype that surrounded him coming into the season, but he in himself, especially defensively, when it comes to kind of being able to switch on to except that one rep, I think, against Steph Curry. But does a pretty decent job switching out onto the perimeter. He's a good help defender, a good rim protector good point of attack defender against players of his stature, defending in the post. It's just really hard, and I see this with Anthony Davis a lot. It's really hard to cover for people when your guards just get blown by over and over again, despite how talented you are defensively. When there's no resistance at the point of attack from your perimeter players, there's only so much you can do. he can't cover for everything. Giannis has struggled with it when hit with his with the declining perimeter defending in his backcourt. I mentioned AD. Lively's not the level of defender they are. Don't get me wrong, but just a bit of defense for him.
But I feel like we always kind of have this conversation with Luka and the Mavs. So at kind of point, it's like, at what point do we kind of just say this is a ceiling for maybe not just like Luka on any team in this role? Like, at what point are we just gonna have to like start pivoting and just have to come up with a different excuse for like why can't Luka just win the championship and like really look at that reason?
I think Mavericks are going to be sick. Wait till after the All-Star break. Luka's 25 years old. Kyrie just comes down the court and bangs threes down the stretch. The Mavericks are going to be fine, in my opinion. I think the Mavericks are going to be sick.
Yeah, I think the vibes are bad, but I think when it comes down to it, especially in playoffs, it's about like having kind of like top 5 percentile offensive creators in the playoffs matters, and they have 2 of them in their backcourt, and that just can't be ignored. And they have enough complementary pieces around them to where if they can figure out the chemistry, it's going to be. I mean, they went to the finals last year. Whether or not you think it's a credible run or not, I mean, they did what they did, and
if it's
so,
not, if you don't have like the players to be like the team, like if you're not the Boston or like the Nuggets of the league, then you have to have like a bunch of roster versatility, and they do. And Luka's out, and all their other players are going to get good minutes. They got 2 centers. I'm a Daniel Gafford guy personally, big fella. I think Mavericks are good.
I mean, I hear what y'all are saying, but I mean, the whole goal is to win the championship, not just get to the finals. And I'm just trying to think of the last time a championship team won where like, yeah, you had great ball creation, but like, I mean, yeah, Kyrie's good on defense, but like, where literally, even though the 2 guards are great at shot creation, just moving the ball around, where they were still just able to at least hold their own defensively. Like, when was the last time this happened? I don't know. I get you can have pieces around, but like, I just think that's a lot to just overcome with just, again, the shot creation, just begging for that when we saw kind of what happened last year when it did matter. And then just hopefully hope that the pieces around them also work. So I see what you mean, but I just feel like it's a lot.
I'm with Io. I'm completely Io.
I'm with Io.
I think the Celtics put a extremely formidable game plan and showed it to the rest of the league how to solve the Mavericks. And I think the Thunder actually did that. And unfortunately, by shot variance, PJ Washington shot them out of the whole, what was that, the first round? Because I mean, they
second round. Come on, man.
Sorry, they played New Orleans. Okay, New Orleans. Let's not even talk about New Orleans.
So that series happened.
DeJounte Murray's back, baby.
I don't care.
Except my traders, man.
But they literally funneled they funneled every 3-point shot to PJ Washington, and he banged every single one. Like, that's exactly what's gonna happen in the playoffs this year too. And he's not. I promise you, he's not gonna make every single one this time, unless it's against the Thunder. But
hey,
he's right.
There's a very easy game plan to solve this team.
Maybe it's
Jaden
Jaden
Io is alluding to is how
Hardy.
I think Io is completely alluding to this point. I think they're very it's a very solvable team. There's not a lot of variance that's positive this year, in my opinion, besides PJ relying on these jump shooters in the corners making threes, which Clay might do, but again, Lowe pointed out earlier, that's not the role he's played most of his life, which is, for a shooter, that's really tough, Yeah,
I am also worried, like, Jason Kidd does. I mean, like, I think if I were to like give him credit for one side of the ball versus the other, it'd probably be his defensive game plans. Luka just kind of throws a wrench into all of that, but offensively, I don't trust him to like figure out over the course of the season how to best put Clay into his spots. Mainly because he's going to always defer to kind of how Luka's historic style of play has been, and I don't see Luka really changing that. I do think he's just so talented, though. So, I won't fully count them out. I do think, if until he solves the other side of the ball, they're never going to win the finals with him playing the way he does currently on defense. But they'll be in the mix with him on the team. Can
I read out the game tracker for the last 30 seconds? Not really. Kyrie Irving makes 3-point jump shot. Kyrie Irving makes 3-point pull-up jump shot. Kyrie Irving makes 3-point pull-up jump shot. Kyrie Irving. Oh, he found somebody. But still,
Still involved.
yeah. Since we started
It's like the opposite when Tyrese Halliburton plays. It's
Oh God! Leave my guy alone.
sorry. No more Halliburton talk today.
I
Maybe
saw-
later. Maybe
I saw-
later.
I saw
I
that.
think it's interesting, but bro, Afan, you're right. This team is a lot like those Rockets teams, and I really didn't believe in the Rockets teams. But I don't know, for some reason I believe in this one more. I don't know what to tell you.
Is it because of Kyrie? What is it? Or is it really just
It must be Kyrie, bro. It must be Kyrie. It must be because he hit that. It must be because he hit that shot 10 years ago, right? That must be why.
I'm taking that 2018 James Harden over Luka any day, bro.
Yeah, Luka's
Any day.
yeah.
Dude, James Harden 2018. He was
Like,
in
I'm
shape.
taking it any day.
I'm taking Jared
MVP.
McCain.
What is that? What's that noise?
Change the game.
Whoa.
Come on,
Change the
Sean.
game.
Man.
Respect Jam. Come on.
That interview is
Jam.
crazy. Not
Jam.
gonna lie.
Respect for Jam. Quite
Respect
frankly.
Jam.
No, I got a ton of respect.
Anyways,
I saw the Tyrese Halliburton post-game interview, and he's like,
he's so
who
sad.
you talk? You guys, you have people around you to talk to get you out of this, and I just thought of you. Looks like calling them this shit.
Dude, he's only been listening to Loke like for the past 3 years.
Dude, I've never seen an NBA player like so sad.
He looked
Like,
so
was actually
depressed, man. I
That was
felt
kind
bad
of sad.
for him.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not lying. It made me decide not to put him for hit the showers this week.
He is. I also didn't either, but I think that's because they're more deserving hit the showers.
Well,
We'll
he
get
had
to
a
that
good game
later.
today. Maybe
Yeah,
he's
he had
taking it at
34,
home.
right?
I have a friend who looks like
Or
Tyrese
21.
Halliburton, and I sent him I sent him that infamous picture of him, and he's like, "No, why'd you do me dirty like that?"
Oh god.
Wait, what? He looks like dang, lucky man. Lucky
okay.
man.
Anyway, all right. We indulged ourselves in talking poorly about some teams who we thought would be contenders. Moving on to our next segment, there's really no proper segue into it, but Thanksgiving's coming up. Shanor had a thought for a segment to highlight some players rather than teams, but specifically likening these players to our favorite traditional Thanksgiving dishes. I don't know how this is going to go, so maybe
Here,
Shanor, you can lead the
How
way
about
here.
okay? That's fine. How about we'll go like dish by dish, and then so I'll say like turkey or turkey leg or whatever, and then I'll say who I think of for that, and then everyone else can also chime in with their thought or reasonings as well for picking a specific player. Sound good?
Sounds great.
I like it. I like
All
it.
right. So for turkey, turkey is the kind of the face of the Thanksgiving League.
Oh,
Come
brother.
on,
Turkey
man.
sucks. Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
this is more about what turkey represents. It's probably the only
Okay.
time of year we all sit around and we call it Turkey Day. It's a turkey-centric league.
Mm.
It's gonna be on our plate whether we like it or not. It's always there. So for that reason, I picked LeBron James.
LeBron James, let's go.
He's turkey. He's
I knew
turkey,
that was
dude. He's there. It's his league.
Driving the NBA media cycle for 20 years straight.
That's a good
Adam
one.
Silver, only reason Adam Silver still got a job, LeBron James. Oh, man. The GOAT. Sorry.
Did everyone have LeBron for turkey or any other thoughts for turkey?
I mean, you made a good point. Yeah, face of the league. I was just gonna put one. Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to highlight the dryness of turkey, the extreme dryness of the meat itself. Yeah, and in that case, I'd like to highlight Jokic's personality and say he's also a great turkey pick.
I was
That was
thinking
fun.
of I was thinking of dividing it into turkey leg. I specifically have turkey leg LeBron, and then for turkey, but I didn't want to make this too long. So
Is this
turkey breast was gonna be Jokic.
This is a white meat, dark meat type of thing?
Whoa!
Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway.
Relax.
I had a slightly different one.
Go ahead.
I had 2017 Ben Simmons.
Hey, that's a good one.
Wait, that's like rookie of the year Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
or
rookie of the
someone.
year Ben Simmons, ready to be face of the league, and then you take a bite, and it's not that. It's not what you expected.
Bro.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's all I have to say about
Love
Turkey.
that. Love that.
That probably like it better depicts my assessment of turkey as a dish. I think it looks pretty and it tastes bad.
Hmm.
Not a fan of turkey.
I-
like
I have yet another take on turkey, but I'll finish when you're done.
I just eat turkey to make not hurt my dad's feelings because he's always making the turkey.
No.
Is he gonna watch this?
No. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm tripling down on turkey as Jokic. The thing about turkey is you have to use it as kind of a reservoir for the other things on the plate. You don't eat the turkey by itself, but everything on the plate, it will congeal to the turkey and create a better bite around the turkey. More Jokic. Or LeBron. Those are the two. The 2017 Ben Simmons. He was dishing,
Good one.
he was dishing the ball, dude.
Dude, that is so good. Upon
Every time
Really
I see
good choice.
every time I see a Ben Simmons highlight these days, it's just a repeat of the infamous play against the Atlanta Hawks where he bricked a layup the other day.
Dude,
Man.
oh my god, that was bad, dude.
they're treating him
my
like
God,
a
that was so
Make-A-Wish
bad.
kid, man. That's crazy. Oh my God, Ben Simmons is back. Oh my God.
I believe I
Oh my God.
I choose to believe it whenever he gets just like
Hey,
Zion.
Shanor, I'm done, man. I'm done. I think you're on this island alone, man. Afan jumped off too.
Go
God.
Ben.
Afan had a.
I thought
He's
this was
done.
gonna be the year, man. Finally, it was gonna come to fruition.
It's so strange that you guys stuck around. When I left, I thought I would be the last one to leave.
I
That's
left
kinda-
with Saad.
That is usually the
Yeah.
Saad is the last one.
When Saad
Well, it's
left,
because he
that's when
stopped going
should
to
have.
he stopped going hard to the 10, and that's what
True.
and Saad was done.
We lost.
What we got next, Shanor? What we got next?
We got mac and cheese.
Mm.
I think it's the dish that's like the most like talked about dish. It's everyone puts turkey on their plate, but what they're most looking forward to is mac and cheese.
Mhm.
No doubt. No
it's-
doubt.
Even if you don't have like a great plate, if you have a good mac and cheese, it's gonna save your day to some extent. And I related that again to the Lakers, so I'm saying mac and cheese. Anthony Davis, as far as his role with the Lakers this year, he is mac and cheese.
Mm.
If LeBron is turkey, that's where I went with in my head. I don't know. How do you guys feel about that?
That's a good one.
I really like it. I'm gonna go with Giannis. I think mac and cheese. I think you hear horror stories in a lot of places, but for me, mac and cheese always been. It has a really excellent ceiling. The dinner around it might be a nightmare. It might be excellent. Either way, you know what you're getting from the mac and cheese typically.
Yeah, I think if the mac and cheese is bad, like ruin. Even if the rest of the plate is good, it usually tends to ruin people's day.
Yeah, just never.
Yeah.
So 2016, 2017 Russell Westbrook is what you're saying?
Relax. Hell of a year for mac and cheese.
No.
I had Anthony
think-
Edwards.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Ooh. I had this year's Giannis like Saad because I think mac and cheese can carry your plate
Yeah,
just like how Giannis is carrying that Bucks roster.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going with Giannis.
I like it.
My real answer would probably be for this one. I'd actually pick Nikola Jokic. Like from a floor raiser standpoint,
Pretty good.
I don't think there's a better floor raiser in the league right now than Jokic.
Pretty good.
Very good.
It's pretty good.
That's Steph.
Nice.
Steph
Steph was.
Oh,
He came to mind
brother.
first as well.
You know, are we sure he's not the face of the league? You know,
brother.
paper, he's turkey, but who's carrying the ratings?
Hey, who's carving the turkey?
Oh,
Yeah, it might be Steph Curry. I eat the mac and cheese night.
Dude, I'm really excited for where I have Steph Curry though. So, I'm looking forward to pulling him out later.
Steph Curry did not make my list of anything. But anyway, so what we got next?
Mashed potatoes. You know, that's probably the second biggest side I usually have, as far as sides go, it's probably what I have on my plate the most. Stuffs the stat sheet. Just always gets the job done every year. This is where I put Nikola Jokic. Seems like we all put Jokic in different categories, but how about you guys? What's mashed potatoes for you?
Oh shoot.
I had Jokic here. I think I completely agree with this assessment. I'm stuffing my plate with mac and cheese, or sorry, with mashed potatoes, and Jokic is doing the same.
I'm going 2018, 2019 Paul George because I think mashed potatoes makes your plate look aesthetically pleasing. It's very delicious as well, and I thought that year Paul George was probably at his best, so I'm going with that.
I'm going Kevin Durant. Mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes is mashed potatoes. Oh, I got to say, bro, it doesn't mess around.
You know who I am.
Bruh,
Kevin Durant.
It doesn't
Bro.
matter.
Mashed potatoes.
Kevin Durant's here to put the ball in the basket. And mashed potatoes is here to be consumed. No messing around.
Dude, it's usually always good. Like you really can't mess up mashed potatoes. It's always consistent. But then guess what? I guess not to cut you off, Shanor, but then when you have a little bit extra, when you have that extra little condiment, to add that little gravy on top, just to make it better. OKC, Russell Westbrook.
Good one.
Westbrook with the KD. Woo! That mashed potato and gravy.
I love that.
Is the Westbrook KD Thunder? Not bad.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and get it. Yeah, let's talk gravy. For me, gravy, ultimate glue guy, brings the whole plate together. I want it on a little bit of everything, just like you might want this like role player on you, like a role player that can go on every team that every team is thrilled to have. And Saad, I hate to say it while you're here,
Derek White.
but it's Derek White.
Give me Derek White.
It's Rick White. It's either him or Caruso for me, and just Rick White's just been incredible. I hate to say it.
Afan sent me the craziest TikTok. Sent us all the craziest TikTok where it's like some dramatic. It's like one of those TikTok edits where it's like a movie scene where someone reveals that they're bald, and then it goes to Derek White highlights.
Dude, I've been sharing that with everyone. I love that TikTok.
So good, so good.
I'm actually a little bit. I don't like gravy on my mashed potatoes typically. I don't think they mesh.
Fitting.
Well. So I'm sticking with the OKC Thunder comp. I'm not gonna lie, that one really hit the sweet spot for me.
That was a great comp.
I've never had gravy either. I have no idea
don't
what it tastes like.
I don't like gravy.
I've never had it.
And I don't really want Russell Westbrook. I really don't want to try him ever again.
Yeah. I don't like gravy.
Pause.
Well, is this an anti-gravy podcast? What's going on?
I think gravy might be Julius Randle on the Timberwolves this year. Like you had a good team and you put gravy on it. So
yeah, it's not bad. Not bad point.
That's pretty good.
Wow. What about Alok? Zan, you had Derek White as well?
No, I mean, I don't really. I'm with Io. I'm with Afan. Like, I don't really use gravy. So if I don't want gravy, so mine's going to be Josh Hart. I don't want Josh Hart.
That's crazy. Alok, are you pro gravy or anti-gravy?
I'm pro gravy. I think
okay.
I agree with the assessment of it being the glue of everything. It's not just on mashed potatoes, but it helps the turkey taste good. Turkey can be very dry. Yeah. So I am in agreement with Derek White for sure.
It does help the turkey. The same way Russell Westbrook is helping Nikola Jokic right now, bro. I'm telling you.
Randall and Braun would be kind of sick.
Wait, no, I thought LeBron was the turkey.
Sorry, Jokic was my turkey. A little dry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Westbrook doing good things in Denver.
Speaking of, I've never had this dish, but I don't know, this player sprung to mind when I thought of it. I always avoid the cranberry sauce, but it's a little sweet, a little tart, adds a little color to the plate, just looks nice aesthetically. So I chose, for most people, it's a must-have. I chose Jared McCain.
A little tart, huh?
Why
is that?
Pops the plate. He nice with it. Next question.
I'm gonna go Karl Anthony Towns. Same reason.
Come on, man. Come on.
All right. Who else got cranberry?
I like it though. It's like there's something there, but there's also something there, and it's crazy. And you just don't know what you're getting when you put it on your plate.
Yeah, cranberry sauce to me is a bust, so I'm going with Anthony Bennett.
This
Um,
is crazy.
that's
This
great.
is actually insane.
I guess I'll have two answers. One to go with Schnorr's definition. Then give me Kelly Oubre Jr. And then and my assessment though is cranberry sauce is just there. I'll like have it on my plate as a courtesy. I probably won't touch it most of the time. Not a big fan of it, so it's just kind of there doing nothing on my plate at least. Let me give that to Gabe Vincent, the reincarnation of Tony Snell in the flesh, playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. Meaningful rotation minutes, crazy.
If I may, an alternative take on cranberry sauce, sworn by some people, but it's on an absolute loser's plate whenever I see it. But they swear by it. They say it's the real. They say it's the real key to their Thanksgiving plate.
Minus a bonus.
LaMelo Ball.
Oh,
Whoa, and Sabonis
Good
would
one.
have been a good one though. That's a good one.
I also like LaMelo Ball, and I kind of like cranberry sauce.
This was crazy. I love, dude, cranberry, man. In the tin, homemade, it don't matter. It's so hard, bro.
Let's
Especially
go.
the stuffing. So I'm at two answers. My first one, that's a joke, Grady Dick.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
you really, when it's there, oh shit. I'll shoot.
Grady.
It's good.
all right,
You don't
all
know
right,
what you got.
all
You
right.
don't know what you got when you get it.
Hey,
But-
and Dick is out tonight. That's a fact. He is out tonight. He is not playing in the game tonight.
Oh, okay.
That is crazy. Okay, but my real one, I'm gonna go with Draymond Green. You don't need it, but man, when it paired with the stuffing, I won't say my stuffing now, but when you pair it with the stuffing, it's a little tart. Ooh, it gets you a little ooh, but you know, when it hit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But then also,
Hey,
it gets
Charlotte
you
Hornets.
championships. It gets you championships.
LaMelo
So
Ball.
Draymond.
Yeah. All right.
Who you
Yeah,
got?
go ahead.
Kramer?
Oh, I agree with Io. I think Draymond is a very appropriate pick. Very divisive player. It can be really good. I personally hate cranberry sauce or whatever. But yeah, and I also hate Draymond Green, so we'll stick with Draymond.
I love the Draymond pick. That's a really good one.
That's a great explanation. I really like that.
Yeah. 10 out of 10.
Since you already brought up LaMelo, I'll bring up I have LaMelo on my list as well. I am under pumpkin pie.
Ooh.
Wait, why?
Explain.
Ooh.
I love pumpkin pie. I love watching LaMelo play.
I love pumpkin
Get a
pie.
little squeeze, a little
Hey,
nice
that's
with it.
pumpkin pie.
I wrote down pumpkin pie, and it just LaMelo. He was there.
Man.
What about you guys? Pumpkin pie?
Not a fan of pumpkin pie.
Oh.
In fact, it will not be making the cut for my Thanksgiving. I bought two cans of pumpkin from Trader Joe's, and then I looked at it and I was like, why did I do this? I have no use for this, and they will not be used this year. I'm more of a apple pie guy, con pie guy.
You're like, all right, what's your pie? How about just pie in general? Thanksgiving is a pie holiday.
Mm-hmm. What about
who's apple pie for you?
who's apple pie? Just kind of like an icing on the cake. I'll start. Maybe I'll think of it like kind of someone who you didn't really need, but you got him anyway, and it just like makes your team that much better. Let's go Kristaps Porzingis for the Boston Celtics. Why did they do that? Why did the Wizards do it, man? Why did the Wizards do it?
Thank you, Wizards.
Makes no sense. How did he do today?
He played pretty well. Had a few blocks, missed some shots from outside, but you can tell his presence completely shifted
You guys what?
the offense. So,
All right.
and
Can I run through my pies real quick?
Go ahead.
For pumpkin pie, I would say even though it's a classic, it's a bit of a newer pie on the block, and it's just not something you're gonna see as everybody's flavor. That's easy. We're going with Paolo. Apple pie, classic finisher, tucks you in, puts you to bed. I don't mean Steph Curry though. I'm just thinking elite closer. We're going Kyrie Irving. Pecan pie. You remember a couple of nights ago, weeks ago when Steph Curry was doing that stuff. And he was screaming all scary into the camera. Not even.
Oh, brother.
Pecan pie, prime Michael Jordan, bro. He is going to.
Oh my god.
There's no way to close the game other than one big heaping
Yeah.
slice of pecan pie, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Steve Kerr is the ice cream on top. Vanilla, baby. 2 scoops, please.
Oh, dude, that's sick. So you get Steve Kerr and Nick Kerr. Amazing.
Oh. Santa Cruz Warriors coach. I won't say his name.
Oh, that's exactly what I was talking about. Come on, we're not doing that. But yeah,
All right.
put the apple pie and the pecan pie.
Sure, you got any more dishes for us?
I got 3 more.
Let's go.
Let's go with stuffing, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right.
Stuffing,
What are your thoughts on stuffing in general?
I'm a big fan of stuffing. It's just
Agreed.
I only eat it once a year during Thanksgiving. It always tastes good. I think of it as a it's a player that does the dirty things on the court, does what other players aren't willing to do, maybe. And I know Zahn just talked about how much he doesn't like this guy. I just described him as a 0-level scorer. But Josh Hart is stuffing to me. I like Josh Hart, even though I have this thing where even if I like a player, I just love talking shit as also. So I guess we just have to deal with that. And so Josh Hart is stuffing for me. Who are y'all's? Who's getting stuffed by you? Sorry, who's your stuffing player? Sorry, we just had to. Never mind.
Anyone?
I'm happy to go. To me, the second we started this, I knew who it was going to be. From the start, I've known who it's going to be for me. To me, stuffing is the most important dish on the entire day. I didn't have it for many, many years. It wasn't a part of my life, and then when I had it, changed the game completely. It's the first thing I put on my plate. It's truly the entire bottom of my plate. Everything else goes on top. And what it's done for me, it's made me view Thanksgiving in a light that I never expected to view it. And truly, it's the real star of my Thanksgiving, especially for the last 5 to 6 years. Stuffing, Steph Curry, nothing like it, bro. Changed the game, the best to ever do it. What are you mad about, Alok? What are you mad about?
Nothing, man. Good choice. Good pick.
He audibly sighed and rolled his eyes and leaned back in his chair.
Good pick, man.
I can fire mine off next. If we're calling LeBron turkey, my stuffing is Bronny James. Essential to the turkey. Since LeBron became a dad in 2003, 2004, he's been one of the GOATs. I correlate with Bronny being born, and now Bronny's in the league with him. So essential to the turkey is Bronny James.
Essential to the turkey.
I think Bronny James has been mentioned in every episode of BUTPOD.
He's important. The king in his stuffing.
Anyone else got something else just stuffing?
I
agree with.
despise stuffing.
Oh, brother.
Yo, he's on. What do you like, bro? What do you like? I feel like you would say.
I like corn casserole.
Oh.
I like pecan pie.
Corn?
I like what else? I like mashed potatoes. I like mac and cheese. I'm a sides guy. But anyways, stuffing, I despise it. Every time I see it, I want to throw up. So I'm gonna say George's Niang for stuffing.
He kind of look like it too.
He does look like stuffing.
Oh my god, that's a good one. He looks like stuffing. That's crazy.
Man.
I agree with Saad. Like I already said, cranberry sauce, Draymond, the perfect supplement to. Besides, really, yeah. Something's so good. Like it blows. When it's good, it's so good. And it did change the game. I already said it.
Hey, And it puts you right to bed, doesn't it? Carb overload, baby. Give me that. Hey, what's your next dish? Because I really want to do green bean casserole now.
And that's exactly what's up next.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Always looking forward. I think it's the most underrated dish. Doesn't get enough talk.
Yes.
And so for me, this is an underrated player. Even though a lot of people consider this guy a star, it just feels like he doesn't get talked about enough as a star. So I picked Trae Young for green bean casserole.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
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 You know, maybe
That's
I
a
don't give him enough
shocker.
respect. Yeah.
Wow.
You sure we don't have lollipop coming up?
What's going on? What'd you say?
We don't have lollipop coming up.
Oh, come on, bro.
Didn't expect that. Didn't expect
My
that.
favorite Thanksgiving dish, lollipop.
Man. I would say I have a really tough time, honestly, with this one. I've been debating between two players for the last 5-10 minutes. I think it's a nuanced dish. I think it's a beautiful and well-respected dish. And I think not at times, I think pretty consistently in my life, it has a chance to steal the show. And so I'm between SGA and Anthony Edwards. I really think this dish shines. And I think this dish shines with a lot of class and nuance to it as well. Green bean casserole is not your mac and cheese. It's not your everyday mac and cheese. The mouthfeel, the textures, the flavor, where else are you getting that? All in one dish. I don't know.
That'll lead into my assessment of green bean casserole. Just agree with all that Saad said about it. I will also say it's one of the best dishes as far as leftovers are concerned. You need it over and over again. So I liken that to watching someone's highlights. And who has better highlights than Kyrie Irving?
Yeah.
Great pick.
I like where you took that.
Good answer. Good answer.
I like where you took that.
I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go with. So when I think green bean casserole, I didn't really, as a Nigerian, we don't really know it. We don't got that. So really, that's like a Southern thing. And when I think about it, like kind of what you guys were saying, like it's not always there, but when it's there, hits the spot. The crunchier it is, the better. But again, if it's there, usually it's not there. But when it's there, it's good. Southern, sometimes here, sometimes missing. Zion Williamson.
Let's go. Good answer.
You think that's his favorite dish? You think what do you think he would have answered if they? You know how they tried to trap him with that question one time? He literally said, "You're trying to trap me." They're gonna be all of it.
Dude, he finished the whole tray of mac and cheese. There's no question about it.
It's probably Mariah.
Come on, dude.
Come on, brother.
Come on, man.
Anyone else got green bean casserole?
Zan, do you like green bean casserole?
No
So I don't-
chance.
There's no way it's on like
I don't even really know. I've never even seen green bean casserole on a table. I don't really know. So I'm gonna go with
Tobias Harris.
Jonathan Kuminga, because I don't know what he is as a player.
Oh man, that's crazy. I knew
Tobias
it
was a
was
good
on
one,
that
too.
experience with green bean casserole. That was
Yeah.
So we got one more dish on the list.
Wait, did Afan say?
I can't say I've ever had green bean casserole either. But based on y'all's description, I think Zion is probably an appropriate one. I'll agree with Io there. Too.
I like it.
Nice.
The last one, ending it pretty simple, pretty small. The humble roll. Best value dish. So for this one, I thought, what we consider like a really good contract in the league. I didn't do my research for this, so I left it blank. But I think Buddy Hield roll. How about that? I didn't look at any contracts. I think he has a good contract. Thoughts?
I don't know his contracts off of that. Pretty good.
I'll go with reliable TJ McConnell.
I thought it rolled a little bit differently. I thought it was like a little bit more versatile. Like I'm dipping my roll into everything. Mac and cheese, and put mashed potatoes on it. Even if there's gravy on my plate, the gravy's going on top of my roll. I'll put Tari Eason.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Mm.
Reason's my role.
Ooh. Wow. Wow.
We'll go. So roll. I agree that in theory roles are very versatile. Can serve a lot of purposes on the plate. Although it never really makes the cut when it comes time because in favor of cornbread, the superior bread for
I had
Thanksgiving,
to.
in my
I
opinion.
cut cornbread, man. I had to end the list somewhere.
So with that logic, I'm going to say Bronny James Jr. Yeah. The superior. just to keep the theme going on our podcast, is the superior forms getting the minutes while he's just on the bench, just watching his dad live out his dream.
Yeah. Oh, let's not do that. Let's not do it today.
What I
Go ahead, say it.
How much longer do we think he's gonna Because part of me let's not do it today. It's a good week. Let's be thankful. Yeah, let's not do it today.
For my role, I'd like to nominate the Landrys, both Fields and Shamit. Always on my
Nice.
plate. Always on my plate. Never eaten. Don't know why I picked it up in the first place.
Landry Fields, the Atlanta Hawks GM, Landry Fields.
Yeah, him. Remember he was doing like handshakes in New York for a little while with Jeremy Lin. That guy didn't do anything.
That's perhaps the deepest cut. The deepest cut we've seen on this podcast.
The Landrys.
All right, that was a fun segment.
Man.
Thank you for bringing that to the table, Shanor.
Thankful for BUTPOD this Thanksgiving.
I wish I'd
Very
had
thankful.
I wish I'd had a John Morant comp. Couldn't find.
I thought I was gonna go John Morant when he was saying Southern there all the time, and then I figured out Zion.
That's pretty good.
Well, I do want to at least quickly run through our traditional segment, the Hooper of the Week and Hit the Showers. We'll go a little bit more rapid fire because we spent a lot of time on dishes today. It was a fun segment. All right, let's rapid fire through our Hoopers of the Week to close it off. Thanks, Shanor, again for that. I'll just highlight De'Aaron Fox. I think we ought to highlight the fact that he scored 60 points one game. They lost, but still scored 60 points, and then he followed it up with a 40-point game. Kind of carrying a Kings team that really hasn't started that well this season. I didn't have them really making the playoffs to be, I think they have obvious flaws, but he's been playing very well, playing more efficiently, scoring almost 30 points a game. So shout out to him.
I'll do two real quick. Franz Wagner. The Magic won 8 of their last 9, and he's shooting 35% from 3. That's all I have to say. And secondly, bro, Jaden Ivey's had some good games this season. I don't think this was his best week, but I think Jaden Ivey's I really want to pick Cam Thomas again, but Jaden Ivey for somebody who's been making a decent season for himself.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for my Hooper of the Week. I'm gonna go Jakob Poeltl. Good blend of interior scoring for him, career and offensive rebounding percentage, defensive rebounding percentage. He's playing really well for it and becoming a good pick and roll partner for RJ Barrett up in Toronto. So, going with Jakob.
I'll go Jared McCain. Hell of a week on the offensive end. My second guy is Bilal Coulibaly. Not the best offensive stats, but he's been making people's lives hell defensively. It's been really fun to watch. He said this week he stopped respecting his opponents when asked about his defensive leap. So I thought that was beast.
That's it.
I'll do Hooper of the Week. Again, didn't really watch a lot of basketball this past week, but been hearing, heard a lot and saw a little bit of good things of Tari Eason. I don't know if he was like a impressive scorer or the logo.
Loke's left.
Just go. Just keep talking.
Keep
yeah,
going.
I think.
I don't know if he's been like a really impressive scorer, but from what I've seen, he's just been helping the team in like all ways, especially defensively. And I think he was kind of sent to the bench earlier, so I just feel like with that group of talented guys, but then also manager coach, like he kind of took like the motion, but then was like, nah, like I'm gonna close these games out. So yeah, Tari.
I'll go. I will go. Let's see. I had two in mind. I'll give it to Giannis. He's been keeping the Bucks afloat. Vibes are bad down there, but he's keeping them afloat and on the way to a Player of the Week award. Just absolutely putting it in dominant numbers back up. So I'll give it to Giannis.
All right. I think everyone's given their Hooper of the Week. So let's get to the Hit the Showers award, maybe the more fun part of this weekly segment. Anyone wanna start us off?
Yeah, I got a
Yeah,
controversial one. I can go ahead. I got a very controversial one, and I like to preface my pick by saying I don't support injuries. But my Hit the Showers Player of the Week and potentially for life, Grant Williams.
Really?
The showers, man.
Damn, right after
my God. Oh my God.
You negotiated the worst CBA ever. You suck. You absolutely suck. You're trying to become Tatum's best friend. You pissed off his son in the way. You tried to hurt Tatum. You tried to be Luka's friend. Now you're on a meme on a pole in like Dallas in the Dallas Stadium. And you try to dress up as Batman. None aura at all, man. None whatsoever. Dude, you suck, Grant Williams. Go hit the showers, buddy.
Man, his bad week just got worse. He's gonna get a towel in the mail. Batman will rise again. We haven't heard the last of him. He always rises. But good pick. Controversial indeed. Anyway, who's next?
I got one, and I think we've already mentioned him. Hit the showers, Gabe Vincent. My God.
Yeah.
His game log in the games he's played 2-0-6-2-5-0 6-0-3-0-7. Like, dude, it looks like I'm talking about a phone number right now. It's so bad. He's shooting what is he shooting? True shooting percentage of 37% this year. What does he do? Hit the showers, Gabe Vincent.
It's not just the 0 points. It's the 0 rebounds, the 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks. And man,
And another
Snell
fake-
reincarnate.
Another fake Miami Heat get.
Exactly.
Yo, give more praise to Jimmy, man. You need to give more praise to Jimmy.
That's a good pick. I thought about highlighting him, but I highlighted him on the Thanksgiving segment, so I didn't want to double dip there. Anyone else got a Hit the Showers award?
Man, I really wanted to keep this basketball related.
Oh God!
Come on, man!
What
is
is
on again? Oh, brother!
Listen, we've talked about Gabe Vincent twice on here. He was this morning at work. I was like, it's got to be Gabe Vincent. Just keep it professional. But then around 4:00, I checked the phone, and this bitch.
Hey! Let's take it easy, all right?
I'll just keep it short. 2-time Hit the Showers award winner, Drake Aubrey Graham.
Oh my God! Where is this coming from, today, man?
He's a coward. He's a loser.
Oh, he's gonna come.
He's been taking an L for 6 months, and it's still getting worse for him.
We're about to get.
Says he's over
bro.
it. Says he's over it, and it seems like he's not really over it. Says it's not bothering him. Seems to be bothering him. Anyways, sorry. Go ahead, Ayo.
We don't mean this, Drake. Drake, come on the podcast. Come on. We can talk. We can talk through it. Again, I would never really watch this team, but hit the shower, Kyle Kuzma. Ever since that tweet about the Detroit Pistons, like we're better than them, or like they can't be us. They've been bad, and I don't know. I mean, get the bag, young man, but you're on a. I don't know. What do you do? You don't contribute to winning basketball. But I guess get your check.
Mine's not great. It's really just one that's hurting me. I watch a lot of the Charlotte Hornets because I really love LaMelo Ball. And he's had like, I think he's had like probably over 100 points in his last 3 games combined. It was like 34, 50, 40 something. They've lost 5 of their last 8, and they only won one of the games that he had of those last 3-point totals I told you about. And I'm not gonna lie, he is to blame for the losses. At the end of the games, he completely loses whatever he's been running with the whole game. Like you can see his entire body language change. And this is just a little warning. Maybe he'll take it personally and show me some new stuff. But LaMelo Ball, I think for now it's time to hit the showers. But I really hope he comes out of the showers. He's so good. He just loses his fire at the end of games. By the way, the Sacramento Kings, same thing. De'Aaron Fox putting up these stats. They also have lost like 5 of their last 8. But the Kings are just bad. The Kings, the whole organization can hit the showers. No one's expecting anything out of them ever. Somebody said Sabonis, right? Sabonis has been in the showers since he.
Good pick. I will close it off. I'll just say this. I wanted to highlight Josh Giddey, but then I looked at his 3-point percentage, and it's actually 36.4%. He fails the eye test completely and utterly. There's nothing redeeming about watching him play basketball, but the numbers are what they are. So after all that, thanks, y'all. I just want to talk about Gabe Vincent again. This is crazy. He is so bad. Like he's like, and like it's especially worse now that like Max Christie has gotten more run in the past like week and a half, and he had like a couple of good games. I think against the Spurs, he scored like 12 points, played a good defense, like had a steal, like being primary defender on 1B. Gabe Vincent's had none of those highlights. I think like everyone just like rejoices when he makes the most wide open corner 3 imaginable, and still he just shoots so poorly. He has no on-ball creation chops. They always talk about him being a point of attack defender, and that's his like what he brings to the table. I don't see that, and I don't know. This is a blind spot in JJ Redick's initial tenure as the coach. He's closing games for them in some, in some cases. It's just been bad. Let's just keep a tally. I think he could be a repeat winner as the season goes on.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully.
So yeah, we'll see. But Gabe Vincent, you probably should have won more awards than this, but this is just the beginning for you. And with that, thanks everyone for being here. It's good to have the whole gang back. Very fun holiday themed episode. We'll have a lot to comment on next time around. Maybe everyone can give their highlights from their Thanksgiving plates. Maybe have some new comps. But in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoy your holiday. Hopefully I'll get some time off as well. Spend some time with family and friends. And as always, to our audience, happy hooping.
Happy hooping.
Happy hooping.
But I do want to give Shanoris proper time to introduce a segment of his own before we get to a rapid fire highlighting players.
Okay. Oh, we're doing this now. Okay. Can someone give me the final score to the Celtics game? Did Celtics win?
I'll tell you.
Yes. they
Yeah.
did. Let me give you the final score. It was 126-94.
Wait, I thought we were doing the Celtics Cavs, right?
Celtics Cavs tonight.
Celtics Cavs inspired the idea.
120 to 117.
Yeah,
Celtics.
but you'll see why the Celtics score today mattered as well. I'm giving out an award. Well, really, I'm not giving it out. Someone took the award from another player actually last week. Someone on the Celtics took it for someone on the Cavs. This award was given by Twitter user Marm Mentality on October 17th, 2024, before the season started. Skims released their NBA models.
Oh my god, dude! I didn't know this is where
In
this
which
is gonna go,
Mar
man.
Mentality tweeted, and there was a picture of Donovan Mitchell and Skims and a picture of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Hey, man, I didn't know this is what was gonna happen.
And he tweeted out something that shook me to my core.
Oh, goodness gracious!
In all caps, he said, referring to Donovan Mitchell, "We out-meated Shea." It's something I've been thinking about for a while.
Dang.
Why,
That's not
man?
even
Why,
like the
dude?
worst.
After that happened, for 15 straight games, the Cleveland Cavaliers and Donovan Mitchell went out and out-meated the entire league. 15-0 they went. That is until one fateful night last week. They ran into the Boston Celtics, in which Jason Tatum led the Celtics to a win over the previously undefeated Cavaliers. And he, therefore, out-meated Donovan Mitchell.
Yes. Yes.
So
he
I'd
did.
like to present to you the BUTPOD. Oh, man. Okay. The BUTPOD Meat Beater Award
No, dude. No.
to Jason Tatum. And that title will be taken by whichever team beats the Celtics next, and whoever the best player on that during that performance is will then become the league beat beater.
Dude, that's really honestly.
Bro.
I honestly.
What the heck,
So,
man?
you know, folks,
we gotta
watching-
pre-screen these segments before. This
I
is
have no
crazy.
be
I had
watching.
no idea about
You
that.
never know who's going to take the crown
They
next.
tied it together really well, actually.
This is nuts. Of course, son. All right. Anyway.
We at BUTPOD are out meeting the podcast game.
All right. Let's move on to more standard segments. Thanks, Sonora. Thanks, man.
Oh.
Thanks, dude.